What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Thokozani Mabena. Thank you so much for joining me. I feel very pretty today. We're gonna be doing a book review. I know that I said I was gonna do book reviews, but there was just this one book that took me a very long time to finish, and you guessed it right. This book took months to finish, and I'll tell you why. But anyways, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and press that subscribe button, comment, like, and just join my family, interact with me, and let us grow this family. I feel very pretty, you know, like I look very pretty. It's just that the lighting is not doing me any justice. I use soft boxes. I think I should get, no, actually, do you guys know of anybody that's running a ring light competition on Instagram, on Twitter, anywhere in J in life that I could enter and win? Because I really need a ring light, and we're not going to get into, you know, the details of why I can't get it myself. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I said that, but I'll say it again. Thank you. I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I would advise you to go back in time and watch, and yeah, get to know me and my little world and my little brain. Get to know how I think, what I think, and just my opinions about things. And hopefully you guys will learn something. If not, you will teach me something in my comment section. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, first things first. I feel like generally in life, I think it's a good thing when you keep your ears open and your heart open to learn new things and new perspectives. And when I first started seeing this book all over social media, I was just like, oh my gosh, the title of the book is catchy. And I think this is what helped the book sell so much, because the title is very catchy, and all of us would like to think that we don't give a fuck, but in actual fact we really do. But it's like, it feels better when people know that you don't care what they have to say about you, what they have to say about your life, what they have to say about anything you do. I'm trying to see if I'm focused right. Like, I've been struggling with it these days. But yeah, anyways, is it focused right? I don't know. Anyway, so I think it was very important for me personally to share with you what I experienced when I read this book. First thing, it was the cover of the book and the title of the book that caught my attention, and all the aesthetics on Instagram, and people were posting that they got the book. And obviously when everyone is talking about something, like, it sparks out an interest in you. But I'm also the type of person that like resists it. Like, if everyone is doing the same thing, I'm just like, ugh. I feel like personally I will not allow myself to experience that thing, because my head will be clouded with so much judgment from other people. So I usually just give it some time until it dies down, or I try to avoid reading reviews until I experience the book myself. And this is what I usually do with books. If I see a lot of it on Instagram or on Twitter, or you know, I hear a lot of people talk about it, it's something that I'd want to experience, but then I always try to get myself to a point where I know that I will experience the book like from a very clear and solid place. And this is what I did with the book. I saw it on Instagram, saw it on Twitter, saw it everywhere. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this book. I'm not gonna read any reviews. I just want to read the book and find out what all the fuss is about. Got the book. After I got the book, after I read the first 20 pages, which were hard to get through. It was like, yo, what's the point of this book? Why did I wait? It felt like I wasted money and I wanted to give up, but I remember that I spent so much money buying the book. And again, the reason why I usually buy books and read books, especially books that are popular, is to experience the book for yourself and see what it means to you, and find out what it could mean or what it could teach you, because your perspective is very different from everyone else's. And I think when you allow yourself from a very clear and pure place, you can experience the beauty of something. So I started reading the book. 20 pages in, I'm like, no ways, like, I wasted my money. Like, Mark, what's this? What are we doing here, bro? Because I felt like it was very repetitive, and I felt like he was just trying too hard to not give a fuck. And I was like, maybe if you took your own advice and you actually realized that you actually care. And then I was like, actually, that's what he's trying to do. He's telling me that he doesn't give a fuck, but he actually does give a fuck. And he's trying to explain to us why people need to give a fuck to a certain degree. Right? First 20 pages, I wish I didn't read, but I needed to read them to gain context of the book. And then there are some chapters that I felt like were very good. but it quickly turns a bit boring because I feel like he tends to repeat stuff and he just uses different words and different perspectives, and I love what he did with that, because again, we all don't understand things the same way, and I think if he can say something like 10 times with 10 different perspectives and 10 different personalities, all of us will have something that we resonate with in the book. And that's, I'm so grateful that when I actually sat down and started seeing reviews on the book, I was like, you know what, yeah, I see the reviews and I hear the reviews, but read the book from a very clean and pure heart. I struggled reading the book, and I had to force myself, like I had to remind myself to read at least 20 pages per day or at any given time, so I can get through the book and I can understand the book in its totality. So that's what I did. Like every single night when I could read the book, I would read 20 pages, and I eventually finished the book. I think I read the book in a space of like 4 months, and I'll take breaks from reading it and then I'd go back. But once I finished, or once I got to chapter 7 and chapter 8, I was like, actually, he's onto something. But that's like 7 chapters down the line that I'm just like, wow, I'm starting to enjoy the book. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it quickly. Chapter 1, don't try. Not gonna get into that. I was bored. I was annoyed. There were too many fucks given that I just felt like, you know, you could have said the word like 3 times and gotten over it, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, chapter 2 says happiness is a problem. And but what he means by that is that in this world that we live in, especially this era, we are obsessed with having the perfect lives, that we don't see the beauty in the struggle. We don't see the beauty in disappointments. We don't see the beauty in failure. And it's just like, we're so obsessed with living out Instagram aesthetics into our real lives. And a lot of times we don't understand how that alters our psychological thinking, or how it alters our psychology, and we're just become so obsessed with having the perfect life that we don't even see when things are going good for ourselves. So it's like, once you achieve something and you're so happy that you got, it's something that you wanted for years, now you want something else, or you want somebody else's life, and it's like you're missing out the things that God blessed you with, trying to attain a life that doesn't even make you happy, because it looks good but it doesn't really feel good. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's what he says. Trying to get to a perfect place in your life, like mentally, emotionally, physically, you know, if I could get this body, if I could get to a place where I don't, where my problems don't get to me. Sweetie, your problems are going to get to you. And we have problems in life because we need to grow out of our comfort zones to actually experience some of the things that life may have outside for us that we may not even see. And it's just like, calm down, cry over your problems. Disappointments are okay, and those things are actually in the bigger picture and at the end of the tunnel. Those are the things that make every experience worthwhile. I'm not saying struggle for love, I'm not saying struggle for something, but you need to understand that sometimes to get to a particular point you're going to have struggles, and that's just that. There's no perfect life. You'll be disappointed, and that's okay. And then chapter 3 says you're not special. And I think this one I was almost like turned off, but towards the end I understood what he was saying. It's like, we want to be so special to a point where we have convinced ourselves that the superior and inferiority complex are a thing. Like, people need to look at you and they need to think, yo, this is God. Like, generally, I feel like we're all amazing human beings. Some more than others, but sometimes we just become so obsessed, again, with striving for that particular spot at the top that you don't even realize just how far you've come and how beautiful your life is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just live out your life to want to be the best. Basically wanting to be Donald Trump. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, I get it, but are you happy? I think being joyful and having meaning to your life is the one thing that would make anybody happy. Being joyful, having meaning, feeling loved, loving, being free. Of course, be free with money, but it's like, sometimes power is not it, because you get all the power, and at the end of the day you're just like stuck, and you're unhappy, and you're a horrible person, and you're just mad at everyone because they're not living up to that. And this is something that a lot of people live with. It's like, you want people to praise you, you want people to grovel at your feet, you want people to idolize you, and it's like, people are busy, people want to live their lives. Like, I don't want to be burdened with the work of praising you. Like, let me praise you when I feel it, when I see it, when I'm like, yo, like, this person is doing great. But no, every day I must just, I understand that it's very imperative for some people to, to encourage and to make them see that, you know what, like, there's so much value in you, but don't make it my business. Like, don't make it my problem. Don't make it Msebenzi wami. I'm not alive for that. But if you're gonna pay me like $1 million or euros, then maybe I could do it. But eventually I'm gonna get tired, so no. Chapter 4 is the value of suffering. I think when you understand, again, it's the thing about the light at the end of the tunnel. When you struggle through something, once you've attained that thing, it means that much more, because you've put in work in trying to figure it out. You've put in work in trying to work it out. You've put in work in trying to explain it to yourself and to others, and you learn different perspectives. Like, struggle love is not, like, I don't see any value in struggle love. That's not what we're talking about. But there's like, like trying to figure out a mathematical equation that is just so hard, and you struggle out, like, you struggle, and then you figure it out at the end. It's like, shit, that feels good. And I think that's the suffering he's talking about it. I think that's the suffering that is like healthy in our lives. And then we go over to chapter 5. You are always choosing. This could have been like my favorite part of the book. You're always choosing even when you're not choosing. You're always choosing yourself. You're always choosing the people around you. You're choosing, the life you want to live. You're choosing how you're going to get there. And by choosing not to choose, you're actually making a choice. So this one is the one chapter that like opens up your perspective. Uti, you're always choosing who you want to be, when you want to be like that, with who around you want to be. I don't know if that makes sense in English, but you're always choosing the type of person you want to be, with who you want to be like that with, and how you want your life to be. Obviously, life throws circumstances in your face, but again, you're always making the choice in how you respond to that. And I think that was like the one chapter that I loved. 6 is you're wrong about everything. I'm not gonna get much into that, because I think it's like, you're not always right. And if you put yourself in a position when you understand that you're not always right, or you could be wrong, you actually learn so much more in life about everything. So when you sit down and you're like, actually, I want to learn more, then you learn more. That's not to say you can't have an opinion about things, but it's like, make sure you have an informed opinion about things. And then chapter 7 says failure is the way forward. Sometimes when things are easy to attain in life, it becomes very easy for you to not see the value in them. And when things are like always easy to attain, always easy to do, it's just like, you don't have the fundamentals you need should you get to a point where something doesn't go your way. So when you fail and you figure something out and it actually passes, it's like when something else that comes in a very different form but is the same thing that will teach you the same lesson, that's when you know you figured something out, when you can move past that thing without feeling the way that you felt, without struggling the way that you struggled at the previous one. So failure, when you fail, it's a good thing. You are learning. I think life is giving you something else, or life is giving you a different perspective, or life is challenging your perspective to open up and see it in many more possibilities. That's what I got from chapter 7. Chapter 8 says the importance of saying no. I've been saying this, I've been trying to teach this to my friends. Say no when you feel it, when your heart says, no, I don't want to do this. Saying no will save you from a lot of things, including things that could be fun. So saying no is so much better for me than saying yes and then half doing something. Saying no is very important when you want to protect yourself. Saying no is good when you're protecting your energy and you're protecting your space. So practice saying no. It doesn't make you a bad person, but sometimes you need to not compromise yourself for the next person. I'm not saying be selfish. Selfishness is a good thing, but I think we live in a world that has many other people, and you're a part of those people. So no man is an island alone. You need someone else to do something else. And I think when you put yourself in that position, you will know things that you can say yes to and things you can say no to. You can't say yes to everything. And if that makes you a bad person in someone else's eye, then okay, be a bad person. But as long as you have like clear cut knowledge about who you are, what what you do, and what value you bring into other people's lives, and you know that you're a good person that actually does help people, then you won't be lost. But yeah, say no is not wrong. Saying no is good for you. Say no more often. And then chapter 9, which is like the end, and I was just like, okay. He says, and then you die. So after having done everything that he's spoken about and things that he left out, it's just like, you die. So when you die, are you dying when you're in your deathbed? Are you dying a happy person? Are you dying a fulfilled person? Are you dying a regretful person? Whatever it is you do, you will know at the end of the day that you're going to die. But what matters the most when you're in the process of dying is what you're feeling. And I think you don't have to get to that point to know or to find value in your life. I do this with myself every single day when I go to bed at night. Like, is everything that I did today any beneficial to me as a person? Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Does it make me happy that I did something like this? And it's just like every single time I go to bed, and I spent the day a lot with my family, with my little sister, doing things that make me happy, around the people that make me happy, I'm the happiest. Of course, right now I would wish to be a millionaire, like a multi-millionaire, and I wish to be doing things that are bringing me more money. And I'm constantly learning every day to put myself in that position when opportunity arises. But where I am, with the people I'm with who I am, and allowing myself to learn and receive more, I am my happiest around family. Not even just family by blood, but being around people that see me for me and allow me to see them for who they are. And we understand that life is a balance. You pick me up today, I pick you up tomorrow. I am my happiest then. And yeah, this book I think it's a good book. Like, I would recommend people to actually read this book. It may take you longer to get through the book, but it's really one of those books where it's just like, you're not gonna die reading it, and maybe you're not gonna die by not reading it, but I would recommend reading it to gain like different perspective about things that you already know. It gets repetitive sometimes, but it's just like, it's not a bad book. Out of 10, I would give this book a solid 5, because there are some parts where are like really strong, which is why I wouldn't say go out right now and buy the book. But if you're an avid reader, if you're someone that literally is always trying to gain different perspectives, then this is a book that you would like to read. Read it with caution, read it with a kind heart, with an open heart. Give it time and just be gentle with it, and you will know and you will understand why I say you must read the book. So yeah, until next time, I keep looking at myself because like I feel like I'm so pretty today. I'm so happy. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed again, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. I will see you guys next time, and yeah, as always, bye bye.